sure that we're safe. If I have a wife that doesn't work, 2 kids at home, if I don't get a paycheck here in a couple of weeks, I still have to provide for them. So it's not something that I want to have to be thinking about.
So that's Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. We'd shown you that earlier. It's relevant now. Let's bring in Mike Christine with the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, East Regional Vice President here. I mean, good morning, Mike. I just want you to know that I have repeatedly said, and we've been talking about this, that I think that I want to take all the money that the lawmakers who can't agree on a budget, 179 G's a year, which I'm very critical of, but take all that moolah and just give it to our air traffic controllers. Hold you over until we get a budget. That's my solution. Boom.
I love the idea, and I appreciate the support. And that's the sentiment right now. Is our air traffic controllers continue to show up every day.
Yep.
We love our job. We're really proud professionals. A good day in air traffic control is when you never hear about us, right? You don't think about us, you don't see us. You say hi to the stewardesses, you may see the captain, but every day we're just there. We're making the system work. We continue to show up to do our job right now for IOUs. And like you said, we would just like everyone, that's in charge of this, the politicians, to show up and do their job.
Yeah.
It's incredibly frustrating. Like you said, it's interesting times. Unfortunately, it's not our first time we've been through it. A lot of the controllers that I represent were here in 2018 and 2019. We remember what a 35-day shutdown is. We remember what a $0 paycheck is. And unfortunately, now representing them, I have to send out, reminders of how to get a 0% interest loan.
Mm-hmm.
We have to, thank our brothers and sisters in ALPA and APA for the outpouring of support and providing us lunch. But we're proud individuals. We just want to go to work. We want to go home and see our families. And, we get 4 days off a month as it is. We don't want this distraction, and it's just growing increasingly frustrating. I'd say it was a distraction in the beginning. You'd hear it in the break room a little bit. It's what everyone's thinking about. It's turning into, how do I pay the bills, right? And now it's turning into conversations of, I have 2 kids. It's having a conversation of, we're not going to be going to the pumpkin patch this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a reality of we're here, and there's decisions that are being made, and we're just hoping this gets over. Hopefully they can reach some type of agreement and just allow us to go back to being proud professionals and air traffic controllers that we are, that are just getting paid instead of working for IOUs.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, and I'll just give you this, Mike. Yesterday, as I've been talking about this, for about a week, but I had put out there, and I had said this, and I was getting reaction from different people, either on YouTube, on social media, that sort of thing. So Rich Notaro, somebody I've known for years and actually worked in news as a videographer, and so he was reacting to me and disagreed with me when I said that lawmakers should not get a paycheck until they reach a budget and should not get the back pay. And he put out there, no, I completely disagree, because, those lawmakers, if they would be incentivized then to not fight for what they believe in and actually do their job, they would just quickly, because they're not getting paid, they'd quickly just do a bad job. And I said, think about what you're saying with regards to air traffic controllers. Do you know what I'm saying? That just shows the level of belief, and this is a compliment, that everybody just believes in air traffic controllers. Everybody believes that these are men and women of integrity who, of course, are doing this without that paycheck. Huge hardship. I just wanted to give you that everybody was in agreement that, yeah, you're right. These are people who are going to work right now without a paycheck and still just have the humility of saying, no, number one, safety. That's incredible.
It's what we do. Like I said, we're very, very proud professionals. And this time it stinks. I'm not going to say anyone doesn't need to get paid or not, because I can tell you this, our families are all feeling it. It's very uncertain. And it's it's a difficult job enough on a perfect day, right? Our job is so different. I can go to work on Monday and it can be completely different than what it is Tuesday. The winds can be different. There could be storms. There wouldn't be storms. It could be a heavy flow. You know, the weekends are busier. Sunday night being one of our busiest shifts. Like every day is different, right? And we have to check everything out on a normal day. If something's going on at home, I throw that headset on, everything else disappears, right? I'm focused on making sure families get to their vacations on time because they spent their hard-earned money buying those tickets. I'm making sure businesses keep running. I'm making sure your Amazon packages arrive. I'm making sure, unfortunately, a family member may make it onto a flight to see their dying mother or father on time. Like, that's what we do. And, taking that focus away and now saying I may need to find a side gig just so I can keep things going because a lot of our controllers work paycheck to paycheck. And when you start looking into this, into a broader aspect, we have controllers who get hired for this job. And we're trying to, as you heard the secretary say, recruit the best and the brightest. My concern now turns to is we have controllers that when you certify or when you graduate Oklahoma City, you get assigned a facility. You may be from Phoenix, Arizona, and you may get assigned to Washington, D.C. You have to pick up yourself, and if you have a family, move them to a new city. You are now working and trying to do a very stressful job, which is training, right? You're learning how to be a controller. And now you've moved your entire family. You really have nothing here. You probably spent everything that you've saved to move. And now you have to think about, how am I going to pay those bills? And the thing that air traffic controllers do, we're a very tight-knit community. All the aviation community is. The outreach, like I said, with all the other airline unions, SWAPA, like I said, ALPA, APA, they have been helping us, right? And it's been awesome to see. It's what family is. And that's really what we're doing in these situations. But as a group of the more senior controllers and more experienced that have been through this before, we're really looking after our younger controllers to make sure that they're okay. And just, it's frustrating because we keep saying we are down 3,800 controllers off of what we have. We have 10,800 certified. I need to now recruit people into a phenomenal job, in my opinion. I've been doing it since I was 18 years old in the military. But we have to, number one, convince them to work nights, weekends, holidays. We have to convince them to miss birthdays, holidays. We then have to say, oh, by the way, as difficult or as crazy as that sounds, you're going to get 4 days off a month. And on top of it, every couple years, you're going to be working for IOUs. Doesn't seem very enticing. So my big concern is, as this goes on, if it's, today's day 17, if it's day 20, I'm concerned this is going to put us years behind.
Right.
And I love this job. All of our controllers love this job. It's not easy. It's not for everyone. But again, my big concern right now is, like, getting this over is one thing. This damage, it's been done, right? The distraction was here. I do believe we're introducing a hazard into an already fragile situation. Like, when does it stop?
Yeah. And here's my question is, when you look at this, and I think people's feelings post 9/11 have changed thinking about air traffic controllers. We remember that famous moment that now has become iconic, when somebody filling in on the job makes the call and says, shut down all air traffic control in the nation, which was the right thing to do at that moment. And I think post 9/11, because you think about Reagan those years, and I just think we've really changed our view of air traffic controllers in this country. And so that brings me to the question, Mike, should this be an issue of national security, thus military, thus under the Pentagon? Do you know what I'm saying? And that we saw President Trump very recently say, we got tariff money, Pentagon money, let's figure out a way to pay military. Why not put air traffic controllers in that category? It's already a high stress job. I don't have to tell you the figures of self-harm and so on with an extremely high stress job. Now you have these kind of shutdowns. Should it be viewed as differently?
Well, I can tell you this: we 100% are a safety organization.
Mm-hmm.
That is our backbone. Everything we revolve around safety. Yeah, should we be paid? Absolutely. I mean, there's no question. The work that our men and women are doing, our country doesn't run unless it's on the back of the men and women that are controlling our skies. I mean, you look what goes through the airs; it's unbelievable. And to say that we're not going to pay them, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, again, the military, yes, if anyone wants to pay us, absolutely. We need this to end. And that's really the piece that's driving us crazy. This is not an air traffic controller issue. This is not.
Right.
This is a politicians,
Yeah.
and we need to be stopped to be used as a pawn every 2 years.
Yes.
It's incredibly frustrating. And you said 9/11 and the events that have happened in our history.
Mm-hmm.
It's just again, it's a fragile system. We have an incredibly important job that our country relies on us to do, and we're proud to come in every day to do it. That's why we're doing this now. It's just, again, as every day that goes on, it's so hard to put away this distraction. I mean, when we go into we can't even take our cell phones. We can't have any distractions,
Mm-hmm.
and this is everywhere. It's everywhere,
Yes.
and it's incredibly frustrating. Like you said, I keep saying that. I get asked all the time, well, what do you want? We want to be left alone.
Mm-hmm.
We want to go back to just doing our job
Amen.
and getting paid so we can go be with our family, albeit 4 days out of the month.
Mm-hmm.
But it's better than dealing with this because there's just so many uncertainties right now with no end in sight. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So again, my big part, and union is just being as a union leader is taking care of our people because at the end of the day, that's all we have right now. We have each other. We are family. We are going to take care of each other. And it's just my heart goes out to everyone. And I know all of the controllers across the nation are feeling this. Like most of the nation, we're paycheck to paycheck, and just so much uncertainty.
Yeah.
I just want to go back to sharing the good work that our men and women do every day, instead of, like I said, sending emails on how to get 0% interest loans. Like that's ridiculous
Yeah.
for our nation's air traffic controllers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and we're talking to Mike Christine here, Eastern Regional Vice President, National Air Traffic Controllers Association. I think it's unacceptable, and I think we need to change the designation here so this, no matter what happens with these politics, and I'm not even getting political, if you notice, because it's an issue of national security, and that's where I'm coming from. Are the skies safe to fly right now, Mike? I mean, I have my son. It's fall break. My teenage son David. Has just
this
started
is why
college.
I booked Mike is because
I
you
know.
had your son fly down.
And David,
I knew
yeah,
you were going to have this question.
flies home. He flies back to North Carolina on Sunday, and should we just shut it down? You know what I mean? To be fair,
absolutely not.
is it safe?
No, it absolutely is safe. And like I said, this is not a national security issue. This is a safety issue. And listen, it's a politics issue.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question, yes, it is safe. We deal with this every day, no matter what happens. Like I said, all the different variables in our job. If we, let's say, don't have enough people, or if something is short,
Mm-hmm.
we just have to reduce either volume or complexity. So it will either mean we're going to have to slow down departures, possibly slow down arrivals, maybe reroute aircraft. 100%, it is absolutely completely safe. So don't worry about your flight from North Carolina up to Philadelphia. It'll be completely fine.
Which is amazing.
Yeah,
It's to the integrity of air traffic controllers. That's my point.
It's on the back of labor. I mean, it really is. It's to the men and women that are making it, because listen, we work in old, dilapidated facilities. Our equipment is garbage, unreliable. Like it is the men and women in the towers, in the control centers, in the TRACONs. That's the thing that makes this work. And that's what's so frustrating, is that the only thing that is making this work are the only thing that's not getting paid.
It's crazy. That brings
Yeah,
Dan Borowski,
no,
our
it's-
executive producer. That brings right to your question,
I
Dan.
gotta ask, Mike. I spend weirdly. I don't even play flight simulators like Microsoft Flight Sim, but there is a large community online of flight sim people and people that do, rehash air traffic control using software and kind of speak into microphones and all. So there's a hobby for this almost for air traffic control. So you'd expect there to be a lot of people wanting to enter the profession, but the reality is these video games that they're playing much more advanced than the systems, the equipment that we see up in the towers. I think you guys. I don't know. This is why I want to ask you: are you guys still using the STARS system? Is that something still in there? And can you verify that this is a picture of what it looks like that you guys are using?
That is. Now I'm an en route controller, but that does look like it is still stars. The scope looks a little updated from that, but yeah, that's pretty much what we see. It's very archaic to say the least. And
Well, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I also use this app called Flight Radar 24, which I'm sure you're familiar with. That is a
Very
live
familiar.
tracking of flights based on, tail signs and such. And I can pull it up on my app and see these flights live. And meanwhile, the guys that are and gals protecting us in these skies are using a device like this. Why has there not been developments?
Well, I think, being in a government shutdown is a great example. It's stop and go funding. So when we deploy a product, it takes years, right? Not only to develop it, but we have to have all the redundancies to make sure if we do lose one channel, we have a backup situation that we can go to and it's reliable. So it takes a long time to develop it. And then because of the stop and go funding and not getting enough money, like the secretary, I believe, asked for $31 billion, we got 12.5. But if we keep giving, quarters and pennies here and here, it's just we're going to keep doing what we've done to the system forever, and it's putting Band-Aids on it instead of really addressing the system and deploying it and making sure that the men and women who are working are involved in the development of it. I think that's incredibly important. I know I kind of came through a tech background. It's frustrating because we know what needs to be fixed. We identify a problem. The issue is it's about 12 to 18 months until we see that fix get deployed onto the field. So every time there's a shutdown, right, we would have say what they call a waterfall of how they're going to deploy the system. When we lose that, it's not only slipping the 20 days or the 17 days of this shutdown, because hopefully it ends by, it's 11:34, so hopefully it ends by noon today.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, right, it's not just putting us back 17 days. We've now need to shuffle everything moving forward. So it could put us 6 months to a year behind. And by the way, there's 20 other new projects that we're supposed to roll out that now have to be pushed as well. So getting out of that business is really what we need to do. Steady, predictable funding is something that NATCA has asked for years. It's not just a buzzword. It's true, and it's really showing its ugly head right now. So we're definitely, as NATCA, are support of getting the $31 billion for a brand new air traffic control system. I think it's incredibly important. I think the controllers deserve it, and I think the American flying public does as well.
And so do you support the Aviation Funding Stability Act? I know that's gaining some momentum, I believe bipartisan, that no matter what, the air traffic controllers would get paid even during a situation like this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know it's stuff that we've looked at in the past, and I believe over the last government shutdown, it was floated a couple of times. I'm not familiar with the exact verbiage, so I don't want to specifically comment on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything that gets us paid we're in support. We want to get out of this business. We shouldn't have to deal with this. We're doing the great job that the American public deserves and expects of us. And I want to go back to turning on the TV and not hearing about air traffic controllers, because that's what we want. We just want to go to work, and we really need more people to come in the system. And I find it's frustrating because it's a great job, but it's not a great selling point right now.
Yeah.
It really is, because we need people. Like it's something that it's a unique skill. It's a great job, and all of our controllers love it. It's just, this is the frustrating part. So, hopefully we can get on this and we can get back to, doing the things that we need to is modernizing the system and working on, how to entice controllers to become air traffic controllers and how to retain our current air traffic controllers, because we can't lose them. Like, our experienced controllers are the ones that are going to train the future. and without them, we don't have anything. So we really need to take care of our controllers. I just want the shutdown to end.
Yeah, all of us. Mike, Christine, thank you so much. We hope you come back. Just love talking to you today. And, you guys really are our heroes. We really appreciate you. Can't say that strongly enough, keeping us safe in the skies, even without the paycheck. Hopefully, like you say, by the end of today, they've got get her done. Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for your time. Have a great day.
Thanks. Mike Christine, National Air Traffic Controllers Association, representing our controllers there, making it clear that no, they're proud. They're going to keep us safe. It's pretty incredible. I think the idea here, and I did look it up. They don't have really the specifics. It was a Florida Republican, Representative Aaron Bean, who is the latest person to propose the Aviation Funding Stability Act of 2025. Kind of a no-brainer. But in this one, I think if they pass that bipartisan, it would be great to say, hey, this is never going to happen again. We want to recruit air traffic controllers. And by the way, you never have to worry about a budget shutdown or anything. We're always going to make sure you get paid.
I want to underline, too, what I said. I mean, there's a desire for young people to do this profession. We see it in the video game world. Why are they not pursuing it? Because pretty crappy conditions, and then they see stuff like this in the headlines.
Yep.
So let's protect our guys and girls up there.
I will say I had mentioned, these are great jobs. First thing he mentioned was, because he has a buddy who's a little older, and he mentioned what Mike Christine had mentioned, the moving around.
Yeah, the moving around.
Some of these jobs. It's not kosher with a lot of people.
It's not. And it leads to depression, and it leads to how do I make this work financially? There's a lot that could be better for those that are protecting us when we're doing very dangerous acts, that being flying in the sky. So, maybe we fix that.
Yeah, let's fix it. We make it seem so easy, isn't it? Maybe we should just cut the pay of those making 179 G's base a year.
I think Mike's actually still with us. Mike, make it happen, sir. Come on.
I'll try. Well, thank you very much, guys, and
thanks,
you have
Mike.
a great day.
Thank you, Mike.
Take care. He's like, yeah. Let's just advocate right there. All right.